Thank you, Chairperson. South Africa is in an economic crisis. We have, and that is a fact, 40% unemployment rate. We are faced with immigration of poor people who are made unpaid laborers. And then if you move around, you go to restaurants, etc., the people who work there are not South Africans. Most of them, they are persons who are from outside of our borders and are not paid by the owners of those restaurants that are paid in tips. We are faced with lack of skills development by this government. There's growth of labor brokerage, which adds to exploitation of workers who already receive no living wage at all. We have reckless destruction of our economic prospects, which are a result of evil and destructive rule by those who are supposed to govern this country. That is why companies are moving out of South Africa to countries where governance is both constructive, etc. But then, of course, they cannot stay here, where instead of having proper governance, you have a rally of ministers and deputy ministers. I have said in the past, you go to the biggest country in the world, which has 1.2 billion people, and that is China, where they have only 18 ministers. But you come to South Africa, where Mr. Zuma will bring many, more than 75 people who must sit in a cabinet meeting. Now, these are the kind of problems that you have, and that money must be used to create jobs for the people of our country. Now, what must we do? We must develop a proper jobs development strategy. What COPE says is that the ANC government has lied. They have said that the electricity problems, for example, have been dealt with, and that is not true. Now, what we need to ensure is that the closure of mines comes to an end. An example I wish to cite is the one in Richards Bay, where 2 mines were recently closed, and as a result of that, thousands of workers have both lost their jobs and poverty has risen. These are examples, and many such incidents are taking place throughout the country because of ANC, of course. The other thing that needs to be done is that we need to ensure that gas smelters that were closed are revived, and more those that are or were going to be closed are not. The revival includes what has happened in Richards Bay, where same has already occurred and many people don't have jobs. Today, the metal workers, for example, are crying and are destroyed by the fact that a motor car industry is leaving.
Honourable Madisha, your time, sir. So please begin to close down. Round up now.
Okay. Thank you, Chairperson. The metal workers, for as long as this ANC government is there, you are in trouble. I therefore am saying that throughout the country, workers, the metal workers, and all the other workers, workers of the hand and workers of the mind, you need to rise against those people who are destroying you, who are destroying.
See, it's not. Right, for the next few speakers who come up, perhaps I'm not speaking loud enough, but when I do mention your name, it means you've got 10